Kendall Davis was incarcerated when he was 16 years old for being in possession of a gun. While incarcerated, he spent a collective total of about 6 months in solitary confinement, where he was left with no schoolwork, no books, and even without a toothbrush. Solitary changed Davis. His mother noticed a difference in the way he walked, his speech, and even said that his skin grayed. In terms of his mental health, solitary left Davis as a person with severe hallucinations and suicidal ideations. Unfortunately, though, Kendall Davis is not the only child in the United States to have endured such challenges. In fact, in 2018, it was reported that 79% of all correctional facilities use some sort of solitary confinement with their youth, despite all the current data of the implications that it may have on them. However, Representative Chisholm and Senator Ackberry are working to end this harsh punishment in Tennessee through their sponsorship of House Bill 223 and Senate Bill 1418, which is an amendment on the Juvenile Justice Stop Solitary Confinement Act. My name is Laurel Flaherty and I am from Belmont University. Today I will be discussing some of the strengths and limitations of this act, as well as how it aligns with the social work core values. One limitation to this act is that it does not completely abolish the use of solitary confinement within our juvenile detention centers, despite all of the implications that it will have on them. The World Health Organization states that solitary confinement can lead to a variety of physical health complications such as GI issues, insomnia, deterioration of eyesight, and more. And Stop Solitary for Kids states that children are 19 times more likely to kill themselves while they are in solitary confinement than they would be in the general prison population, and half of all suicides within the juvenile justice system as a whole take place while that person is in solitary confinement. This bill will not completely eliminate the risk factor that is solitary confinement in developing these serious mental and physical health complications. However, despite this, House Bill 223 still will have beneficial effects on the juvenile justice system in Tennessee. There are two components to this bill that outlines the strengths. The first, which discusses when solitary confinement may be used, states that solitary may only be used if that person is a serious threat to those within the detention center and if other less restrictive options have already been tried and have failed. The second component of this bill implements new regulations for if and when solitary is used. And this says that no child may be held in solitary for more than 22 hours and for no more than 7 consecutive days. And on top of this, weekly reports will need to be filed to ensure no one is being held for unjust reasons. And Tennessee also is not the only state making these changes. There are currently 24 other states who are either in the process of or who have already passed similar legislation. Washington is one of the states who has already passed similar legislation, and they banned the use of solitary confinement with juveniles in 2020. And they've had great success through a dramatic decrease in both mental and physical health problems in their incarcerated juveniles. On top of all of this, this bill also aligns closely with all 6 of the NASW social work core values. It supports the value of service because it addresses the social problem that is the juvenile justice system as a whole, as well as the social problem of solitary confinement. It addresses the value of social justice because it encourages social change that will target and benefit some of the most vulnerable youth in our state. It supports the value of the dignity and worth of an individual because it pushes our state towards treating those who are incarcerated as the human beings that they are with care and respect. It supports the importance of human relationships because it allows children to be in the general prison population and form relationships with their peers that are needed for their development and enrichment. This bill supports the value of integrity because it promotes more ethical practices in our detention centers as a whole. And finally, this bill supports the value of competency because it will contribute to the knowledge base of our profession by providing more evidence as to why solitary confinement is an unnecessary practice. Therefore, I recommend that House Bill 223, the amendment on the Juvenile Justice Stop Solitary Confinement Act, is passed, not only because it aligns with the social work core values, but also because it would benefit the youth in our state and pushes Tennessee in the direction of restorative justice rather than retributive justice. Thank you.